In this video, I just want to talk about imposter syndrome. I hear this a lot, and I think that it is really important that we put things down on paper and really just try to reason them out and really see, do they make sense? And so when we look at imposter syndrome, you're saying, in my own words, I'm saying, when I say imposter syndrome, I am saying that I'm an imposter. I'm doing something that I don't believe that I'm worthy of doing, that I'm capable of doing, that I can do with confidence. But the truth of the matter is, we all have so much untapped potential. We can all do a lot more than we're actually doing. So think about that today. Think about all the things that you've already done, all your accomplishments that you've already accomplished. Think about all the education that you already have. Think about all the experience that you already have. And so what I think about is, you had to overcome adversity. You had to overcome mistakes and challenges and setbacks and defeats when you went through all these things to accomplish these accomplishments, these experiences, these education. You had to go through something to have, 10 years of work experience, 20 years of work experience. You had to overcome some things. And so when you think about yourself as an imposter, think about what you've already done. Just draw on what you've already done. Just know that if you're capable of what you've already done, you're capable of so much more. And research indicates that we are capable of way more than we're doing, that we only use 10% of our potential. So if you think about that, we have 90% potential untapped. 90% completely untapped, but we still feel like we're imposters. But what I know for sure is, if somebody chose you for something, or if you chose yourself for something, a position, a title, you can do it. You can do whatever you put your mind to. All you got to think about is, all you got to do is believe in yourself. That's all it is. It's a matter of believing in yourself, believing that you can do it. If somebody else put their faith in you, surely you ought to have faith in yourself. If nobody else puts their faith in you, surely you ought to have enough faith in yourself to know that I can do anything. I can figure anything out. I can do this. I've done great things before. I can continue to do great things. So stop doubting yourself. Stop believing that you're an imposter. You're not. It's all in your head. You're thinking that you're comparing yourself to somebody else. You're looking at somebody else and you're thinking they're better than you. They're doing things that you're not capable of doing. But you don't realize is that you can compare yourself to where they are, because they have 40 years of experience. You've been doing this 10 years. Of course, it still doesn't minimize your greatness or your brilliance, because you're still brilliant. You still have greatness inside of you. You still have done great things. So don't compare yourself to somebody else. In some ways, they're better than you. In some ways, you're better than them. And I think sometimes we get that, we don't think about that. We think that they're better than us in every different way, in all ways. But the truth is, they're better at certain things than you are, and you're better than them in certain things. So don't forget that. Imposter syndrome is a lie. It's a fraud. It's used to keep us doubting ourselves. It's not the truth, though. It's all in your head. You're thinking that you're not good enough, but you are. One of the things I realized over the last few years is nobody cares. Nobody cares that you think that you're not good enough. You're good enough. You got to start believing that you're good enough. And two, people treat us like we treat ourselves. So we don't have the confidence in ourselves that we can do it. People start doubting us. So you got to believe it. Whatever you got to do, you got to start believing in yourself, and people will believe in you too. You can do it. You can figure anything out. You can figure anything out. You have 90% potential untapped. So of course you can figure anything out. You've done it before. So why are you doubting yourself now? You can do anything that you put your mind to. I like to say, celebrate your wins. We don't celebrate ourselves nearly enough. We just jump from one thing to another. We don't take the time to celebrate our wins. I believe it's important that no matter how small, we celebrate our wins. I think it's important that we reflect on our failures. What can I learn from this? What was this failure meant to teach me? And oftentimes, like I said, we just jump from one thing to another. We don't realize, hey, I did a great thing here, right? Or I messed this up. And so when you mess things up, which we all do, right? We have to mess things up. We have to have these failures in order to go to the next level. We learn our lesson. We fail. We learn our lesson. We know what to do next time, and then we can go to the next level if we apply what we learn. So don't get caught up in you're an imposter. You're not an imposter. You're great. You are created with greatness inside of you. You've done a lot of things already. Just reflect on what you've already done. Keep a brag book of things that you're accomplishing for yourself, so you can go back to it when you start doubting yourself. You can go back to it, that brag book, and say, okay, I've done all this already. Surely I can do X, Y, and Z. Of course you can. You just got to believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe that you can do it. Realize that the sky is really the limit for you. You just got to start believing that you can do anything. And then you just keep growing and learning, because we all need to keep learning and growing. As the world changes so fast with technology and all this AI, we have to continue to learn and grow. So you just keep getting better, but just know that you've done great things. You're capable of even more, that you're growing. You have greatness inside of you. Just don't forget that. You're not an imposter. People feel about us the way we feel about ourselves. So if we want things to change, if we want to be more confident, we just got to start taking action. We got to start doing the things that we know we need to do, and keep learning and growing. That's what we have to do. But you're not an imposter. Don't feel that way about yourself. Just start believing in yourself. Just start looking at what you've already accomplished. Just knowing that if I've done these things, I can do even more. I can do even greater.